Mehdi Hasan has chosen, for whatever reason, to either fall on the sword for the Palestinian people, or perhaps he had another plan. Whatever the case is, he is somebody who I believe personally is very disingenuous. There is multiple reports of plagiarism.
Do we know what's his ethnicity? I mean, he's not Palestinian though, right?
No, Mehdi is he's Middle Eastern, but I don't recall.
I thought he was like,
he might be Iranian.
I was going to say I thought he was Iranian. I don't know. I don't know. But he's not Palestinian is my point. He was just speaking out on behalf of Palestinian people. Is that correct?
Right. And so he was like Ali Velshi and Asen, or Ison, I think is how you say his name.
Oh,
they were suspended temporarily by MSNBC.
Which, by the way, if I were any of them, I would have walked.
Oh, absolutely.
I would have walked.
Got to have an opportunity to move on to the next thing.
And if you're suspended, if somebody's going to suspend you over that, that is not a place. I'm sorry. I don't care, because especially at the level that you're talking about there, when it's not like you're living hand to mouth. I cannot fathom where you're being suspended for that and you want to hang around and wait to see if they're going to give you your job back.
And it's not like he went out with a big bang and all of a sudden was just like making this like big major statement on his channel and all of a sudden that was the case. But look, there's a reason why I have been anti-Rachel Maddow for many years now. Rachel Maddow in particular. I know that Joe Scarborough is who he is. He is scummy like that. That's not a new thing. But Rachel Maddow comes from Air America. This is a person who supposedly, like Chris Hayes,
she used to be good.
Was very much a progressive leftist.
She used to follow Ed Schultz's show.
Ed Schultz, who is a personal political hero of mine.
I told you I called him and I spoke to him.
It's a good man.
I know. I called in the radio show when I used to listen to Air America. But yeah, she came on after him. And so, she was normal.
But to probably not many people's surprise, Rachel used her privilege of being an LGBTQ city dweller who has exceptional credentials, is very well spoken, and ultimately used that as a stepping stone to become a very wealthy person. And all she had to do was sell out the American people in the process. And now she's, of course, sold out people all over the world. She can live with herself. She can sleep at night, apparently. But you know who typically are able to do that? Narcissistic sociopaths. That's who's able to do it.
We know a lot of them.
Now, unfortunately,
that's what's so frustrating to me, is since we've been doing this, like maybe I knew a couple of real narcissistic people in my life prior to getting into this. The list now, it's like exponential. The amount of psychopathic narcissists that I have met in this line of work is just, it's off the charts.
And that's the real story here. It isn't so much
that's the real story.
Well, it's not so much that Mehdi Hasan chose that, to make the career decision that I'm not willing to go along to get along when it comes to genocide. Okay, you finally hit, you hit pay dirt with him as far as what would ultimately be the decision what's the straw that would break the camel's back regarding his integrity and where he stood career-wise when it came to these major issues. There's a lot of others that are out there, but Mehdi Hasan has also been one of the few people.
Has he ever been anti-war?
Yeah, for the most part.
Because that's usually the only thing that really gets you canned from mainstream media, really, is if you speak out against the war machine. That's usually the one thing that is not.
Been pretty vocal about being in support of Medicare for all. So there are.
That's not a deal breaker for corporate media.
Maybe not, because they're not in a position where they can lose on the healthcare front right now.
No.
But they are losing on the military-industrial complex front.
That's
because people are having enough of it. And that's a big part of the problem. Now, will he land on his feet? Maybe.
About taking up a collection for him.
But the bigger story is not Mehdi Hasan. It's the other people that are in the corporate media line of work, specifically at MSNBC, specifically the likes of Joe Scarborough and Rachel Maddow, who go right along with the war machine. And their talking points and whatever the hell is put in front of them. Why? Because they're paid millions of dollars a year to do it. Now, is everybody going to, give up their integrity for that money? No, but most will.
I don't think it's most. I think it's certain personalities, and that's who ends up in this line of work. I think that there's a lot of honorable people you would never know because they wouldn't be offered that kind of position. They wouldn't or work their way up to that point in the food chain.
Would you like to know who they are replacing Mehdi Hasan with? Michael Steele.
I don't know who that is. Yeah,
he was the former chair of the RNC. Because, you know, it's like you can't hire enough Republicans to begin.
It doesn't matter.
I guess not.
It's they all work at the behest of capital. It doesn't really matter.
They do.
You know, which party's talking points you're going with. Like, that's kind of irrelevant.
It is what it is.
Were his ratings terrible? See, I don't know anything about any of that. I think a lot of mainstream media ratings are crappy.
A lot of their ratings are bad. But in this case, you're going to pick on him and say that that's the reason that he was fired.
No, the three of them were clearly let go simultaneously in response to October 7th. That happened. Now, him coming back or his ratings or any of that stuff, I don't know anything about any of that. But those three people were let go from MSNBC.
At some point, you also have to remember, in that world, you basically get pushed out. So it's very possible that he was going to have to twist himself into a pretzel and basically be rendered useless to a point at which it doesn't matter.
That's probably not wrong, Travers.
So ultimately, he decided that he was going to go full on in support of Palestinian liberation. And they said, okay, well,
bye-bye.
Bye. And that's it. And the people that are out there huffing and puffing away are the same people who say, but Trump 24/7.
Thanks for watching. If you want to support our mission to transform politics into service, please like this video, subscribe, follow us on social media, and consider joining our Patreon, where you'll get early access to our interviews as well as other exclusive content. Links are in the description. Peace out.